Welcome to another episode of Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Tits McGee, and I'm one of your Spencers.
My name is Spencer McTit, and I'm one of your titties.
There you are.
True enough.
How you doing today, man?
Good, man. It's weird. We're recording after work. It's strange.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling of being, like, exhausted from a day of work.
Yeah.
And then immediately being like, let's do the thing that we really want to do with our lives.
Let's do the most exhausting thing there is out there. Talking. On a podcast.
Dude, it's wildly exhausting, though, I will say.
It's true.
It like, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I do feel like when we get done episodes, I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
When we were recording 2 in a row, for some reason my eyes would hurt, and I don't know if it's from like the talking or it was looking at you. I couldn't figure out why
it's a little bit of both.
Why my eyes would hurt every time.
Because I get that when I look in the mirror too much. It's like vertigo, except it's with me.
Just do what I do. Don't look.
That's why everyone fucks me in the dark.
Just exist. Just exist. Who cares?
Who cares, dude?
Yeah, who cares anymore?
Dude, honestly, that's been my motto the last month.
Yeah.
Who cares
I'm happy
anymore?
For you.
Who cares?
I have a story for you, actually.
Ooh.
This is very interesting. I was listening to sports radio.
Nice.
Like I often do. And they were talking about Flames defenseman Noah Hanifin. So they were saying, people were sending in text, they had a prompt like, trading Noah Hanifin is like blank. And people were sending in stuff, right? So they get this text message, and this one isn't from me, but they get this text message, and it's like, trading Noah Hanifin is like trading my corn dog and Dunkaroos to my high school bully for a butter sandwich. I still ate. I didn't get punched in the face. And later on in life, I slipped his wife my corn dog and stole a box of Dunkaroos. So I guess I win. And then I was sitting in traffic. I was in traffic for an hour and a half, by the way.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this was the other day. So I'm sitting in traffic. So I decided to text it. I said, trading Hanifin is like trading some loser I used to pick on high school, my wife, and a box of Dunkaroos for a good reason to divorce. And they read it on the radio, and they fucking laughed real hard.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was like fucking 7:45 in the morning. It's just putting up my best work. Yeah.
Dude, that's a really good one, though.
Yeah, but I like being able to text into the radio. I like when they read your text messages. It's gives a little special feeling.
It is really fun.
Yeah.
Dude, radio is fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Like, I actually, whenever I'm in a car in the city, that's all I listen to. Like, I don't put on a fucking podcast or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, for me, podcasts and playlists and that, it's for long drives. You know, that's for when you don't have a consistent station.
Yeah.
But if you're in the city, listen to your local radio.
Yeah, I listen to the radio.
Find the one that you like.
I listen to the radio
Do you like oldies? There's a station for you.
Do you like French music?
Do you like French music? CBC Radio 1.
Yeah. Do you like weird shit?
Do you like weird shit? CKUA.
Or CJSW.
Or CJSW.
Depending on the time of the day.
Honestly, there was some fucking wild ones back in the day when I was at CJSW.
Depending on the time of the day, whose show you're listening into.
Dude, did I ever... I haven't really talked about CJSW on here.
No, we've talked radio before, but I don't think you've really talked about your...
Yeah, my tenure as a volunteer at CJSW. That was actually one of the reasons that I moved to Calgary.
Really?
Yeah, it was because when I was in grade 12, I worked on the very last film that shot in Saskatchewan, and then the film tax credit went away. And so everyone from Saskatchewan fucking moved to Winnipeg, and I didn't want to move to Winnipeg, so...
Nobody does.
Yeah, and then I figured at the time, like, Vancouver and Toronto were, like, too big of markets. And so I was like, well, I liked Calgary, and then I found CJSW, and I was like, oh, I can learn how to be on the radio. That seems like a great deal.
Yeah,
and I did that for a couple of years.
Nice.
And spent a lot of time at that radio station.
Did you ever have an hour or anything like that?
I did not. I was a fill-in for a little while.
Nice.
Did that a little bit. Did a little bit of filling in, but I didn't have my own show. I also, though, at the same time, was doing GTFOradio.com, which was, and they didn't train me at all and just let me have a show. So I was like, it kind of, that made me not want to be at CJSW, because I was like, oh, you mean I don't have to do all of the volunteering and I can be on the radio? That's pretty sweet, except it was online radio and barely anybody listened. A lot of people that listened were sex freaks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because it was a porn radio station.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that was a thing. It was just audio porn?
No, it was like they would talk about, like, it was the people that owned the station worked in the adult entertainment
We got
industry.
this classic. This is Alexis, Texas with 14 black cocks. You're listening to GTFO radio.
No, dude, there wasn't any live shit, but that would have been amazing. Oh, man. At one point, they decided that to make the show more interesting, they would put somebody in, like, a fucking, bra in front of a webcam.
Yeah.
And they didn't talk or add anything to the show. They were just in the studio with us.
They got paid?
Yeah, and I didn't. That was before university, man.
Their talent.
It was a wildly different time.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, there's explore your local radio stations.
Explore your local radio
There's some
stations.
weird ones here in Calgary. There's lots of strange ones out there. So
you know what I would say? I would say ride those radio waves and hit that dial, baby, because you're gonna find something that you're gonna really appreciate.
this guy's a seasoned vet,
dude.
Yeah, this guy's a seasoned vet.
You know what? I bet I could list off most of the stations in Calgary.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's AMP 90.3. There's CJSW, which is 90.9. There's X92.9.
Yep.
There's CJ 92.1. I have to add the .1 there. There is Country 105, which is the biggest radio station in the city.
Really?
Which, like, ratings-wise. Which is odd, because I don't know anybody who listens to it.
I don't even scroll up that high. I don't even seek that high on the radio.
Dude, I think, like, 101.5 is the highest I've went on my dial.
Yeah.
And then there's 98.5 Virgin Radio.
Yes.
There's 97.7, which plays, like, a weird mix of, like, 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then there's Jack
96.9.
96.9.
Yeah.
There's Wild 94 or 95.7, but that used to be the peak.
Yeah.
95.7. Actually, back when it was the peak, when I was doing the show on GTFO Radio, the station manager had me and Ryan Drescher come in, and we did like an interview, and we almost had a late night weekends show.
Oh,
on
there you go. Nice.
Yeah, but the station folded like 4 months later, dude, and changed the country.
There's 88.9 Shine.
Yep, the Christian radio station.
Yep. And then there's
Oh God, I got into an Uber the other day and the Uber driver was listening to it. Dude, the worst part was I was like, "Can you turn on the radio?" And he goes, "Yeah," and he just turns it on. And then he was singing along to it too, so I didn't feel like I could just be like, "Hey, do you mind?"
Our God is an awesome God.
He reigns from heaven above.
And then isn't there a First Nations radio station like 89 something?
Yeah, I think it's 80. It's either 89 or fuck. I think it's 88.1 maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 88.1 because Shine is 88.9, and then there's the Punjab station which is 94 something.
Yeah, and then there's a French one in there.
There's a French one in there.
It might be in the 89s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few others that I'm missing, and then let's not even get into AM radio.
Yeah.
AM, that's where there's a lot of fucking
99.1 is CBC Radio 1. What's You said 101.5. There's also one in Okotoks too that we get.
I love that we're talking about the radio and not a single fucking person gives a shit about Calgary radio stations.
Well, this is what we do. This is what we do.
It just dawned on me while you were going through it. I was like, nobody listening to this gives a fuck.
Nobody cares except us. I mean, but that's why we do this. We talk about the things that nobody cares about.
Yeah, we talk about the things that are important to us, which is apparently terrestrial radio.
And nobody listens.
That nobody listens.
Like terrestrial
radio. Yeah. I think our numbers are a little better than terrestrial radio right now, dude.
Yeah, it depends, I guess. Depends on what station.
Depends on the episode too. Yeah. Fucking shout out to Nolene, dude.
Yeah.
She's been blowing up huge lately. Yeah. Like, she did that Belting Bronco, but now she's like doing a tour with Charlie Crockett, which is fucking huge.
All thanks to us.
Yeah, it's definitely us. We're the ones that we're the talented ones that really put her on a pedestal.
Yeah, and like Waterfront's doing a show with Spencer Streichert. So, pretty close. Pretty close. We put everybody out there.
Yeah, dude, we put everybody out there. Yeah. We're putting people on the map.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's great to see you. I always have great feelings when I see your lovely face.
I always have great feelings too.
I was gonna ask you. I'm reading your shirt. How was William Prince?
It was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah?
It was okay. Best style of concert for the Jew.
Yep.
Like best. I feel like because he surprisingly for a dude that sings super chill. Mm-hmm. Lots of energy.
That's
like
good.
He attacks the stage and like he's got a few songs that go real hard.
Yeah.
Which he goes real hard for
the jangle.
Yeah, dude. The place went nuts for that song. That was great. And like, dude, there's just so many great. It was amazing because like, I mean, I've been listening to him for almost a year now, but I was still surprised with how many of his songs that I knew.
Nice.
But it was great. The one thing I'll say, there's one person in the fucking crowd who wouldn't shut the fuck up. Just some drunk white bitch in the top balcony. And like, it wasn't even like she was just talking to her friends or something. Whenever he would say anything in between a song, she would be like, yes, preach it. Yes. Woo! No, dude, it gets better. It gets better. She does this for the first like 30 minutes of the concert, and everybody is like, what the fuck? Like, and like every time she talks, he doesn't acknowledge it at all, which is like the one thing that I'll say, like, I feel like he should have maybe been like, shut up.
Yeah.
But this fucking guy just had enough, and I could tell, without even looking at this guy, I knew exactly what he looked like. He's like bald top of the head, hair on the sides, beady glasses. He's fucking had a tough day.
Yeah.
He's excited to be here with his wife, and now this drunk lady's just ruining everything. So all of a sudden, William's talking about like something to do with Indigenous youth, and all of a sudden, she just goes, "Woo! Preach, baby!" And this fucking old guy has had enough, and he goes, "Shut up!" and knock it off! Shut up! And the whole time, dude, William Prince did not stop. It was so fucking funny.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I was just gonna say, it reminded me when we saw City of Color, and those people would shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and then you were just like, shut up.
Yeah, I was that guy.
Yeah, dude.
I tell you every time, dude, when I take off my hat, it's completely bald. So I'm that guy. I have no hair from here down.
Well, I was going to talk about this. You notice what I have on my head today?
What?
Nothing.
No hats today.
No hats today.
You get a haircut?
No. But you know that this is the first episode since the first episode that I haven't wore a hat.
Really? I feel like there's not many where I don't wear hats.
There's none except 2 that I don't wear a hat, apparently.
Yeah. Well, you look nice.
Well, it's shucks. Thanks.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, shucks. Thanks.
Yeah, you've really grown into your face.
I really have. I think that, honest to God, the facial hair that I have right now makes me look a lot better.
Well, I'm excited for what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, and you've read the title,
yes.
So you know what it is. We're going to be talking about NAS's Illmatic album.
Sorry, just do it again. You're the worst. Like, I hate how you do that. Just fucking do it again.
NAS's Illmatic.
No, do it properly. NAS is Illmatic.
NAS is Illmatic. Okay, so this is actually when I was doing research for this, before I get into it, I have to say that it made me want to change our format for certain albums.
Okay.
Because I didn't get anything about the artist because there was so fucking much about the album.
Yes.
Like, there was so much that it filled up 6 pages with just about the album. And then and the reception. Like, there was a lot about how this album has been received. Mm-hmm. So we're still going to do like notable tracks, and obviously we're going to rate it. But I felt like it might be better to actually just talk a lot about the album this episode.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've done this with a couple different albums, if I remember correctly. I think we did it with maybe Fleetwood Mac.
We got into Fleetwood's history a little bit, though, because we did... There's been some of them that we've like... I
think there was one specific episode where we didn't really talk about the artist. Talked about the album. Don't remember which one it was.
Fuck. I don't even know. Dude, it's crazy because we've done so many of these now that like I'm having a hard time remembering some of the episodes.
It's because we're forgettable.
Anyways,
no, I love this album. This is a cool one that we picked because multiple reasons. I mean, it's an iconic album, just in general. We were talking about wanting to do a 90s hip hop album, so that checks off that box.
Yeah.
And then like Nas is still pumping out music today, and he's still getting a lot of the critical acclaim he was getting back then.
Oh yeah.
Now he's literally a living legend. So
and he also last year when Wu-Tang came through, he was on that tour with them.
Yes.
Which is fucking... Also, apparently that concert was crazy because when Method Man came out, I guess the place went fucking nuts because they weren't expecting it.
That's cool.
And he came out and the place just fucking blew up.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the debut album by Nas. It was released April 19th, 1994 through Columbia Records. Man, the next day, so many people got high and listened to this album.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he was young, too, right, when this was released?
He was very young. He was, like, just out of high school.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was, like, 18 or 19 years old, right? Yeah, which is pretty incredible to make such a long-lasting piece of music at that age.
Yeah, and to completely change the game, too, at that age. Like, not even just to be like, oh, this is a great album, to go, this is one of the quintessential hip-hop albums, especially of the East Coast.
Yes.
Like, this is stands above his peers. I mean, like, I would say this album, it goes this, and then I would say 36 Chambers Wu-Tang is, like, probably second if we're talking East Coast hip-hop.
Yeah.
And then I don't know which Biggie album I would put after that. Probably Ready to Die.
Yeah.
And then...
You'd have to throw in a Tribe album as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Which one would you put in, though?
I always blank on the name of the album. It's the one with
Electric Relaxation, like their debut.
Yeah, but it's the one with Check the Rhyme, I think is their best.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Shit.
This is why we need a fucking third.
Dude, we need an intern.
This is why.
If you would like to be an intern on the podcast and help with production, we can't promise you anything. But if you email us at misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com, misfitsonvinylpod,
I don't know. I don't even know our fucking email.
Dude, I don't even know anymore.
I can't even type.
I don't fucking know anything,
We're
man.
going to do some editing here and pretend like we know the song.
No, we're not going to do some editing.
Yes, you're going to do some editing.
No, I'm not going to do some editing.
Take... The Low End Theory should be thrown in there. That 1991 album by A Tribe Called Quest.
I'm not going to edit it, but I am going to make that a clip.
Yeah. It's like fucking... I feel so dumb like when that happens because like... I've listened to that album quite a bit, and then you go, it was a while ago, but then you go, what the fuck? Huh? I always do that.
Dude, I just feel dumb in general.
Yeah, I feel like I have a memory problem.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of getting Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Because both sides of my family are predisposed to it.
It's coming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's probably going to get it. I think she might have it.
No.
She listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
She won't remember when I said
she
that.
She keeps listening to it.
Yeah, she keeps listening to the same episode.
Oh, shit. Bruce Springsteen. Oh, shit. Bruce Springsteen.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Recorded between 1992 and 1993 at Battery, Unique, Chungking, and D&D recording studios in New York. It debuted at number 12 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart, selling 63,000 copies in its first week.
Let's go.
You know what's crazy about that? That underperformed.
Yeah.
They expected that it was going to do much better than that. And I mean, it's multi-platinum now. Like
I'm curious why though, because like I don't know a lot about Nas's history, but like this kind
it's a good thing I did so much research about it.
This kind of feels like this was just like a boom, I'm here sort of moment. So like how did I know when they produce records and stuff, and there's back in the day there was all sorts of PR for new artists and blah 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 blah. But how does 63,000 copies for a brand new artist? How is that a flop?
Especially in a time when like nobody really knew who he was.
Yeah, and
it's not like his songs were radio friendly, accessible for radio, or like really anything. No. You know, that was actually something that I was going to mention too. I didn't put it in the notes, but all 6 singles from this album failed to chart.
Interesting.
And failed to like perform.
Interesting.
Which I think is also kind of surprising, but it does make sense.
It's not surprising though, because even today, like how much of the popular hip hop music is being played on radio stations.
Yeah.
There's not really like in certain cities, like in Canada, there's hip hop dedicated radio stations.
Yeah.
We listed off all the radio stations in Calgary. There ain't fucking one that does strictly hip hop.
There was one station that almost came here to do hip hop.
Yeah.
There was one that almost came. But that being said, Virgin, Amp, and Today, all 3 of those stations do play a fair amount of hip hop.
Yeah, but it's mostly like Drake and shit. Like it's mostly Drake's like popular hits, that sort of thing. Like it's not actual. Like nobody is playing Wu-Tang on the radio or playing Nas.
Well, they do on like Amp flashback nights, and CJSW. I guess CJSW and CKUA they both play. They have hip hop dedicated shows. Yeah. So like because and CBC Radio 1 as well. Because they have Tyreek from Dragonfly Empire hosts.
Yeah, I think it's like an hour a week, right?
Yeah. He is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
We should try and get him on the podcast. That'd be really cool.
But yeah, that's the sort of thing. Like, so I get why. Even I don't know what it was like at that time, but like I know at least here in a majority of major cities in Canada, they don't really have a lot of dedicated hip hop radio stations.
Dude, hip hop didn't come to Canada until Drake was born.
Yeah, it's true.
It wasn't until
when Drake was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that was when hip hop popped off.
Yeah, before Drake learned to walk again. Then we had hip hop.
I really want him to do a Degrassi rap.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be fucking sweet.
Well, I mean, I understand how he got out of that wheelchair. Third leg.
The what?
The third leg.
Dude, I did Google and look at his dick. I was like, and then I hated seeing comments that said, that's a small dick.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that is a pretty fucking sizable hog.
Yeah, I mean, dude's got money and he's got a large wiener.
He's got a large wiener, dude.
What can you say? Anyways, speaking of big balls, it took a lot of big balls to release this album.
It did. It took 7 producers to make this album, including DJ Premier, known for sampling jazz, funk, and soul artists, as well as sampling artists' past work when creating a new track for that same artist. For example, on Jay-Z's So Ghetto from the 1999 album Volume 3, he samples an older Jay-Z song, 97's Who You Wit To. Dude, that was the fucking worst way I could have said that. The next producer, Large Professor, who previously worked with Eric and Rakim, Tribe Called Quest, and Cool G Rap, and Les, who went on to work with Will Smith, Fat Joe, and Mobb Deep.
Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory, 1991 album. It just came to me.
Oh, dude, I'm glad that it came to you.
Yeah.
Prior to recording, DJ Premier listened to Nas's debut single and later stated, "When I heard Halftime, that was some next shit to me. That's just as classic to me as Eric B. for President or The Bridge. It had just that type of effect. As simple as it is, all of the elements are there. So from that point, after Search approached me about doing some cuts, it was automatic. You'd be stupid to pass up on that, even if it wasn't paying no money."
Nice.
Yeah. That was really difficult to read. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're having a hard time,
Dude, I'm stroking out. Concerning the recording of the album's opening song, New York State of Mind, which is not the opening song.
No.
Genesis
The
is.
Genesis.
Come on. Producer DJ Premier said, when we did New York State of Mind at the beginning, when he says, "Straight out the dungeons of rap, where fake neighbors don't make it back.
Smooth.
Then you hear him say, I don't know how to start this shit, because he had just written it. He got the beat running in the studio, and he doesn't know how he's going to format how he's going to convey it. So he's going, I don't know how to start this shit, and I'm counting him in to begin his verse. 1, 2, 3. And then you hear him go, yo, and then he just goes right into it.
Nice. Nice. Good song. I like that song. That's probably my favorite, I think, on the album.
I really like that one. Memory Lane.
Yeah.
It Ain't Hard to Tell.
Mm-hmm.
That one's great. The one with Q-Tip is great.
Yes.
What one's that one? One Love.
He's the one in Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, but it's One Love.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But they did the
Low End Theory.
Yeah, from 1991.
And Electric Relaxation.
Yeah, from 1989.
Which had Can We Kick It?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Can we kick it? Tell my tribe that goes in layers. Right now, I'm a studio conveyor.
Yeah.
Mr. Dinkins, would you please be our mayor? You'd be doing us a real big favor.
Okay. Yeah, good job. 2 white guys. Couple of neighbors.
Illmatic contains highly discerning treatment of its subject matter,
yes.
gang rivalries, dissolution, and the ravages of urban poverty. NAS, who is 20 years old when the album was released, there we go, focuses on depicting his own experiences, creating highly detailed first-person narratives that deconstruct the trouble of life of an inner-city teenager. Jeff Weiss of Pitchfork describes the theme of the album as a story of a gifted writer born into squalor trying to crawl his way out of the trap. It's somewhere between The Basketball Diaries and Native Son.
Yeah.
Do you know either of those?
I know The Basketball Diaries.
Is it a movie?
I think so, yes.
I did not.
With Leo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Pretty sure that's The Basketball Diaries.
He's white.
Yeah, it's the one where he gets addicted to drugs and, like, his mom won't give him money through the door.
I thought that was What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
No, that's the one where he's got a fat mom.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think The Basketball Diaries, I think he sucks dick for money or something.
Really?
Yeah.
And they say Leo doesn't have range.
Yeah, he's definitely got range.
Many of the themes found in Illmatic revolve around NAS's experience, not age range though, around NAS's experience living in an environment where poverty, violence, and drug use abound. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, residents of Queensbridge experienced intense violence as the housing development was overrun by the crack epidemic. Illmatic contains imagery inspired by this prevalence of street crime. In New York State of Mind, NAS details the trapdoors, rooftop snipers, street corner lookouts, and drug dealers that pervade his urban dreamscape. The content of Illmatic is also informed by the notions of artistic authenticity. The promotional press sheet that accompanied the album's release implied NAS's refusal to conform to commercial trends, stating, well, it's sad that there's where there's so much frontin' in the rap world today. This should only make us sit up and pay attention when a rapper comes along who's not about milking the latest trend and running off with the loot. Yeah, we're talking to you, Tekashi 6ix9ine, you bitch. Okay.
I think one thing I appreciate about the album.
I just want to start a beef with Tekashi 6ix9ine, dude.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do it.
I have no, according to you, I'm his biggest fan, so.
No, I mean, you did introduce me to him.
Yes. Anyways, let's talk about this a little more in depth. I think for the time, well, I think even compared to modern hip hop, the way he talks about the subject matter, it's not in a flexing matter, it's in a, storytelling matter of fact sort of way, which is kind of what they were saying there. That's like, it's not about saying, oh, I got this, I got that.
Yeah.
I did this, I did that. It's more of telling the matter of fact of this is what it's like. He paints you could almost visualize a lot of the stuff he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way
And this was around the time, too, where, like, things had changed because in the early 80s, obviously, early to mid 80s, hip-hop was very different. It was a lot of, like, it was party music. It was flat out just party music, right? And it was a lot of it was really upbeat. And then fucking Ice-T came out with this Cop Killer record.
Yes.
And that kind of kicked off that trend of gangster rap, and a lot of what Nas is talking about in this album is a lot of the same stuff that NWA was talking about in Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
And I think that the reason that those two albums have held up so long or so well is because of the fact that they are coming from a place where it's like, I'm not proud of the horrible things that are happening, but I'm proud that I was able to make it through that.
Well, I think some of it too is like the definition of gangster rap has also changed over time, where like back then that was considered gangster rap, where now I would consider this album like a lyrical, more of a lyric based hip hop album compared to like the gangster rap of the 2000s, which was bling bling era, that sort of thing. So I think it's got to, in the context of hip hop as a whole, like I would categorize it something different than that, to today's standards. I don't even know if really like gangster rap is really a thing anymore.
I don't really think it is.
It's more of like trap and things of that nature. It's kind of like molded that sort of thing, which when you think of gangster rap, like I said, you think about flexing, you think about girls shaking ass in the music video, all that sort of stuff. Right?
Well, and for a while there was like, obviously in the early 2000s, we had the like 50 Cents and
the
Ludacris in the game. Dude, Ludacris, one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Really?
I don't know if I've told you this.
No.
Him and Wiz Khalifa were co-headlining at Cowboys Tent.
Yeah.
And Ludacris came out, and I swear to God, all he did was go, Luda, every couple of fucking minutes. But, like, the other person that was on stage with him was doing the majority of the rapping.
Nice.
It was one of the worst things. But then Wiz Khalifa came out and fucking killed it, dude.
Well, that's nice at least.
Yeah, and then he passed a joint out to the crowd.
Nice.
I smoked it.
Nice.
Shared a joint with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was before weed was legal.
And that's how you got
These
herpes.
are the stories I tell people.
That's how you got herpes.
No, I think I got it from other people.
Oh.
I know who gave me the herpes.
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't Wiz Khalifa.
No, it wasn't Wiz Khalifa.
Damn.
It was you.
That would have been a better story.
I got it from you when we lived together in Toronto.
Probably.
We were doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Listen.
Miss those days.
Door only locked from the inside.
And you were always open. Anywho,
all right. NAS is also, or Illmatic has also been noted by music writers for NAS's unique style of delivery and poetic substance, which we were just touching on.
Yep.
His lyrics contain layered rhythms, multi-symbolic rhythms, internal half rhythms, assonance, and enjambment. I don't even know what enjambment is.
Often when I think about like hip hop, I wonder like how much of that stuff is like thoughtful, or some of it is just like, I think about this like when I think about like whatever Eminem or Jay-Z, Nas, whatever. I wonder how much thought they're putting into. Oh, this is a triple rhyme. This is a half internal rhyme. Like the same thing with MF Doom. Like I wonder how much thought is actually put into that, or they just do what sounds best and they do what fits their flow best
and what feels best for them.
Yes, while they're rapping it, right? I'm curious how much is fully intentional and what is, just based off of the natural talent and skill they have.
And I feel like when you just mentioned with like MF Doom, I feel like he's probably somebody who did think about that stuff, because he was such a he was a meticulous nerd when it came to his lyrics, right? But I feel like for someone for a 20-year-old kid,
we could be wrong though.
We could be wrong. I'm not saying and I'm not saying that to be fucking disregarding of his talent or anything, but I feel like more so with a 20-year-old kid, he's just going, what feels best for me.
It could be a natural thing too, and I've seen like videos, I think it's like Vox or whoever, they do actual like a line by line breakdown of the rhyme scheme and blah 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 of XX whatever song, right?
Yeah. And
they're breaking down, this rhymes with this, and they have the different color coordinates to explain how this is like a triple layered rhyme, whatever it is. That's where it comes to my mind. It's like when you actually see it visually laid out, how complicated it is when someone breaks it down.
Yeah.
How, like, is that a natural coincidence, or is that purposeful and thought through, right? So.
Well, and I wonder if it's kind of like, because, bringing it back to comedy, because that's what I do every time. But no, but what you see some people that are like really good at riffing, right?
Yep.
They're naturally fucking good at riffing, right? And then you see some people who are like meticulous writers, and as soon as there's something that goes wrong, they crumble, right? And so I imagine that it's very similar.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like, I'd say you're probably right. I'm just always curious as when you break it down, like the way they just said it there. It's like, I wonder how much of that was actually just what sounds good, what fits my lyrics, what fits the beat to actual, like, you know.
Who would be your dream collab of rappers? Like, they could be dead, alive. Like, if you were to pick 3 to do a song.
3 to do a song together.
And it could be from any decade, anything.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right?
I would pick Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kodak Black, and Lil TJ.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not serious. I don't know.
Dude, I am. I want to see that.
I would probably pick... I really like Mos Def. So I'd probably pick Mos Def as one.
Mos Def would be a good one.
I don't know, man. This is a very difficult question. I have to really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially
way to put me on the spot. Like, fuck you. Like...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, who'd you pick?
I mean, I was just thinking about that. I don't really... Okay, I feel like first album 50 Cent.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking Get Rich or Die Trying is just such a...
That's a great album.
It's such a good album. I would say first album 50 would be... Well, it also depends, though, if I'm going for, like... Because I would love to have, like, a De La Soul and, like, Mac Miller collab.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so difficult to pick. You want to pick people that would sound good together, but you also would want to pick your favorites too.
Yeah,
like,
and so it's like it's tricky because I would also like to see like a Biggie 50 Cent collab. You know, that would be really cool. Mm-hmm. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very difficult question.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, you really stumped me there.
Actually, it would be fucking sick. And I don't like this one actually could happen still.
All right, let's hear it.
Andre 3000.
Yep.
Doing whatever the fuck he wants to do musically with Donald Glover, Childish Gambino writing the lyrics.
Do you have a third?
Okay, if I was gonna pick a hype man for that, got to get a hype man in this one.
You know who I would have picked?
DMX. DMX is the third dude.
Who I would have picked, just like they already had a.
It'd be so weird because it like Childish Gambino would come in after the flute solo and he'd say some beautiful poetry, and then you just hear,
"Where my dogs at?" Okay, one I was thinking about actually that just came to mind, which there's already a duo. They've already just released a song, but there's a third I would have loved to hear on that track. And that was Tom McDonald, Ben Shapiro, but my third would have been Tucker Carlson.
Man, Jesus Christ.
And then if like on the outro you had Donald J. Trump finish it off, like that'd have been like a trifecta.
Dude, intro by fucking Jake Paul.
Yeah, intro by Jake Paul. It's amazing. Yeah, that's a really good.
The Nelk boys come in with the hype.
Yeah, it would actually would have been for me probably Krispy Kreme. You remember Krispy Kreme? I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. You know that one? No. You don't think I don't get girls because I ain't very tall? When she sees my stacks, I bet you that's your call.
That's a great fucking line.
I have 4,000 houses. 4,000 houses with 4,000 mouses. I have... Yeah. Anyways, look them up.
Okay. Macklemore.
Yes.
Ryan Lewis.
Oh, yes.
I don't even know who. Who's that Classified?
I'll go Mercules. Tom McDonald. and we'll do Easy Mac.
Easy Mac.
Remember the guy that was beefing with Mac Miller over his name?
Yeah.
The guy from Canada? I remember I told this story. He played BSD.
Yeah.
And he ran out and he's like, I'm on acid right now. And then he proceeded to like shit through the microphone for 45 minutes straight. Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Okay, fair. I'm going to do Machine Gun Kelly.
Nice.
I'm going to go Puff Daddy.
Nice.
P. Diddy.
Nice.
You know? And then
Sting.
Sting rapping. Oh, dude. Have you fuck me. I'm blanking now.
We're so off the rails.
Dude, we're so off the rails, but I'm loving it.
Anyways,
have you seen the Alex Trebek NHL awards rap?
no, I haven't.
Dude, in the 90s, Alex Trebek did an NHL awards rap song in a skating rink, and they had like a stunt double doing like figure skating shit. Yeah. It's so bad, dude. The players are all on the ice. They're skating together. Isn't it nice?
Nice. I would do Vanilla Ice. Eminem.
Nice.
And the red M&M. Actually, no, the white one. Let's keep it on theme. Let's keep it on theme,
dude. Okay, I gotta say this. Ultimate one, no one's talking about. Yeah. It's the Detroit trifecta.
Oh yes.
Eminem.
Yes.
Kid Rock.
Yes. Insane
Clown Posse.
Oh yeah, that would imagine the crowd.
It would never happen because they all hate each other.
Yeah, the
crowd. And I honestly think that ICP is the coolest out of all of them in terms of his personality.
I would, if I had a Fred Durst, Kid Rock, ICP collab, dude.
Dude, I downloaded that on LimeWire when I was a kid.
Yeah, that would just, imagine the Nazis. That would just be like,
dude. The thing is, that's the other thing though. Is like, fucking, juggalos are like, they're like social justice warriors, dude.
I know.
So like, they would it would basically be like, it would be like when Antifa shows up to a Proud Boys rally, you know. There'd just be a bunch of people fighting with each other.
That's amazing.
And really bad speeches.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some other really.
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
Some other really funny collabs that would be nice.
Could you imagine, like, divorcing Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
And then marrying Kid Rock.
I think you have bad taste in men.
I think you have bad taste in men.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought it's you?
Well, I mean, it's them, but you're the one that's like, yeah, you're for me. This is the one.
I wonder if this white trash will be better than the previous white trash.
Well, my favorite thing about Kid Rock is like Kid Rock grew up rich and he'd like take like little field trips to the hood when he was like 15 and be like, oh, okay. You know this about him? He like grew up in like a giant.
I knew that he grew up rich.
Yeah, he grew up in a giant mansion outside Detroit. He's not even from Detroit. And he would he'd like hang out with black people and like go to the hood and he'd be like, oh, okay. And then he'd go write a rap. Yeah. And then when he got famous, he was like, no, I don't know those guys.
I wonder how many of his raps are stolen by
probably
someone that also had their shit stolen by Eminem.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, no, that's we have some really good options there. Give us your input. Who would you like to see?
Yeah, I would love to hear what 3 artists you'd like to hear collaborate. All right.
I think Ice Spice.
Dude, have you seen the picture of Ice Spice with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Yes.
It's so funny. Like, the captions on that are all like, like, this is a sick child or something.
You think you the shit? Bitch, you ain't even the fart. I love that. It's the best. The best.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the best.
All right. The album cover of Illmatic features a picture of NAS as a child, which was taken after his father returned home from an overseas tour. The original cover was intended to have a picture of Nas holding Jesus Christ in a headlock, reflecting the religious imagery of Nas's rap on Live at the Barbecue. When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Okay. Illmatic has been noted as one of the most influential hip-hop albums of all time. We've talked about that. No album better reflected the sound and style of New York in 1994, said Jeff Weiss of Pitchfork.
Nice.
All right. Notable tracks.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We had New York State of Mind.
Yes.
We had One Love.
Yes.
We had Represent.
Yes.
We had Halftime.
Yes.
We had Genesis.
Yes.
We had Ain't Hard to Tell.
Yes.
We had Memory, Sitting in the Park.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
That was the whole track.
I was going to say, you just listing them all?
I just listed them all.
Yeah, nice. I would, I mean, I think personally, just because I'm like this, I find the front half a little more loaded for me personally. And songs I enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like the first half is ampier. The second half is like more... I don't know. It's you get into like One Love and it's a little repetitive. Then you get into Represent and it's a little repetitive. Yeah. Because both of those repeat the fucking title multiple times for the chorus.
Yes.
And that's it.
Which is like something that like some of the best and some of the worst parts of older hip hop is that pretty much was the chorus was kind of an afterthought. And it was like, here's a chorus. Yeah.
It's like, we need a hook.
One love.
One love. One love, one love, one love, one love.
Yep.
One love, one love, one love. Represent, represent, represent.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
All right. Reception. Illmatic was met with widespread acclaim from critics, many of whom hailed it as a masterpiece. Enemy called its music rhythmic perfection. And Greg Kot of the Chicago Tribune cited it as the best hardcore hip-hop album out of the East Coast in years.
Nice.
It's amazing, because nowadays, I know that it's hard, but it doesn't really feel like a hard hip-hop album.
No, like when you think about some of the underground stuff that came on later on.
Yeah, even within that decade.
Like even if I think back to like stuff like Immortal Technique and shit was putting out, it's a whole other ballpark. Yeah.
Dude, this is like a couple half notes below Del the Funky Homo Sapien in terms of like the beats, you know? Yes. All right. Dimitri Elrich of Entertainment Weekly cited Nas for giving his neighborhood proper respect while establishing himself, and said that the clever lyrics and harsh beats draw listeners into the borough's lifestyle with poetic efficiency. All right. Some reviewers were less impressed. Heidi Sigmund of the New Los Angeles Times, couldn't get on the New York Times, Heidi, said most of Illmatic was hampered by tired attitudes and posturing, and interpreted its acclaim from East Coast critics as an obvious attempt to wrestle hip-hop away from the West.
What the fuck you know about it, Heidi?
Yeah, what the fuck do you know, Heidi?
Yeah.
You're writing for the Los Angeles Times.
That's a weak opinion. I mean, I think the whole thing was in the 90s was that there was a competition between the East Coast and the West. That was kind of the point, was it not?
Yeah, and also, I'm sorry, but in the years leading up to this, once Ice Cube left NWA, he kind of like didn't do anything of outstanding effect. Nor did NWA after he left. Eazy-E's solo projects after that were meh.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Dre did.
But The Chronic didn't come out until a year later.
Yeah.
So, like for the time, like, if you were actually looking at it, it's like, okay, Biggie's been releasing shit, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
You got Wu-Tang. Now you got Nas. And what does the West Coast got? They're riding off of NWA's, like, history from 6 years before.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg hadn't released shit yet.
You know what's weird too is like, Tupac gets West Coast.
He was born in Baltimore. I know, raised in Baltimore.
I know. Which is the weird part. I've always wondered about that. It's like, yeah, he was always, I guess he was signed in the West Coast and stuff like that. But he was.
But they also put Eminem in the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's literally just whoever was around. Yeah, signed to death row at the time.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that was kind of Heidi's kind of missing the point that it was a back and forth, And that was the whole point, is that who was going to release the better album, who's dissing who's... Yeah, that was kind of like the whole point, was to wrestle the focus of hip-hop from one coast to the other coast.
Yeah. Have you seen the Tupac movie?
I have not.
I watched it in theaters.
Yeah?
It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Really, hey?
I know that I say a lot of things are bad, but this is like, okay, look, I know I say a lot of things are bad. And I'm not a negative person, but a lot of things are fucking bad, dude.
I just find the whole music
biopic,
it
doesn't really work.
I haven't really seen one that I've like loved. I mean, I liked Ray.
Walk the Line, I think.
Walk the Line is good. I liked Ray. Jamie Foxx is pretty good in that.
But both those were like mid-2000s.
Yeah, but like, what's the weird one with Buddy Holly that was from like the 80s? Can't remember. It was somebody famous played him. Don't remember who it was. Anyways, but yeah,
maybe it was Steve Martin.
Recently, the music biopic has been pretty doo-doo.
Yeah, I heard that the Bob Marley one was weird because apparently they spent a lot of time talking about how he loves football.
Okay, nice.
They're like, they kind of like gloss over a large part of his life, and they're just like, he always wants to play football.
What if the whole concept of the movie is, what if Bob Marley experienced FIFA?
What if Bob Marley was Pele?
Yeah. What if Bob Marley got a Super Nintendo and played FIFA? Let's make a movie about it.
Okay, another bad review. Charles Aaron of Spin felt that the comparisons to Rakim will be more deserved if Nas can expand on his ruminative lyrics. Ruminative. Fuck me. Why did that word fuck me up?
That's okay.
Ruminative lyrics with something more personally revealing. He literally talks about his fucking...
Yeah, he's just saying, I guess it's repetitive.
Shut the
or
fuck
redundant.
up. I love that all of these people have not done fuck all creative.
Well, I'm curious to... I mean, we can't really... Like, I always have a funny feeling when we critique critics, because often we are critical and we have no base of...
That's true, but at least we both have worked in the arts.
Yeah,
we both work.
I've hardly.
Okay, I have worked in the arts for 12 years now.
But we both know we don't have any sort of musical, so I find it...
Yeah, but dude, game recognizes game, all right?
Yeah, but like, we base it off of like, yes, do we like it? Do we like the way it sounds? We often pick albums we enjoy, or at least one of us enjoys, so we can talk positively about it, but we find things to critique about it. But some of the stuff we critique, we really have no knowledge or skills in. So your same criticism for these people could very much so apply to us.
Aaron, this is like last week when you said to stop telling people we get our sources from Wikipedia. Stop dissecting the podcast.
But this is what I'm saying. This is, we often critique the critics, especially with that one fucking guy. I forget his name, but we always fucking hate what he says.
Stephen Thomas Erlewine.
Yeah, that guy's a loser.
He's a fucking idiot, dude.
Anyways, but yeah, like we're legitimately doing the same thing on like if we're gonna get philosophical about it, like we're basically criticizing them for the same things we do, which in my opinion is a little hypocritical.
Yeah, but Aaron, the thing is, this is the thing, okay? We're the #1 English-speaking music history podcast in Chile, and what happens is once you gain success, you become the thing that you hate.
Yeah, I guess so, but we haven't. We've already become the thing, and we... Yeah, I don't know. That's going to bother me now. Like, I've thought about this before. Like, it's just now that I've documented it. Like, I've thought about it multiple times. It's just the way I put it there was quite eloquent.
You're having an existential crisis about us critiquing the critics?
Yes, I feel like it's... Do we have the right to... I mean, anybody can be a critic. Everyone has a right to diss and dislike something.
I mean, a lot of the critics that we're disputing are dead.
Yes.
So their opinion matters nigh.
It still does, because they wrote it on paper. Like, I still look at...
Yeah, they wrote it on paper. We're doing it with audio and video.
I still look at what Roger Ebert says about movies. before I watch them or after I watch them, I'm always curious what his thoughts were. He's been dead for like fucking 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know, Spencer. There's a problem with this that's gonna irk me for life now.
I just don't understand. I think that it's fun to shit on critics.
Yeah.
Mainly because I've been shit on by critics.
But that's what I'm saying. But I get it. It's like, as the concept of our podcast, like, we're not experts on, but like also we're like, well, this guy's not a fucking expert. He doesn't know shit. Yeah, but that's also the premise of what we do.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
We're a talking hypocrisy. Like, that's every word I say. Like, when we rate the thing, I'm gonna be like, whoa. That's like, I think about it often. It's like, whoa, let's rate it technically. It's like, I don't know fucking shit about shit. Like, we could barely figure out the fucking mics for two people talking. Like, how the fuck are we gonna rate the technical? Oh, we're like, oh yeah, the sound level, the vocals were a little quiet. We can't even figure out our own fucking vocals, and we're talking next to each other. Like, this is a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna rate it musically. Yeah, it sounds nice. That's literally like all I can input. You know what I mean? Like, we've like fucking 60 episodes into this. I felt this way for a while. I just haven't, you know, expressed it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? I get it, it's the premise, but then we shit on people for doing the same thing that we do. So does that make us like our shit still stinks like their shit? Like, it's the same shit. Like, it's not different. It's the same. You know what I mean? You understand? I think you do. I think you get where I'm coming from.
The Chicago Tribune gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. Entertainment
good,
Weekly gave it an A-. Rolling Stone gave it 4 out of 5, nice. And the Los Angeles Times gave it 2 out of 4.
Oh, fuck you. You guys don't know shit about music. What a bunch of losers, am I right? That girl Heidi, like, she only writes for the Los Angeles Times. I haven't written shit anywhere, but like, fuck her, right? Like, jeez, they don't know shit about music.
Oh man, you were fired up. I love it.
Yeah,
I love fiery Aaron, dude.
Hey, kitty.
It's been a while since you've had a rant.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it comes to me sometimes.
You know what's gonna be funny is we're gonna get through the podcast, obviously,
yes,
and then I'm gonna go to bed, and right before bed, I'm gonna think to myself about everything that you just talked about.
Yeah,
and I'm going to contemplate whether or not this is what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and completely forget about all of those thoughts.
The thing is, like, I think about this stuff, and then, like, I get to the point where I'm like, well, do I really care to either A, do something about it, or B, like, just, you know, try something different? And the answer is no to either. Like, it's just... No, it's, you know, I'm happy to come in here and bullshit on fucking. So yeah, like, you know, I come with no expertise. I listened to this album like the same way I listened to it when I was like 15 years old. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm like walking to the store. I'm like driving my car. I was like, oh yeah, like fuck yeah. You know, great. But it's like trying to think of like complex thoughts. You know,
this actually leads really well into my next thing. So there was a controversy with the initial rating.
Yeah, okay, let's hear it.
Given. So upon its release, The Source gave Illmatic a 5 mic rating, which was their highest rating and a prestigious achievement at the time. Given the magazine's influence in the hip-hop community, John Schecker, co-founder of The Source, had received a copy of the album 8 months before its scheduled release and soon lobbied for it to receive a 5 mic rating. On his Tumblr blog, he recounts hearing Illmatic in a meeting with editors on the staff. It's about 9 in the morning. I get to the office, and I gather all the heads in the conference room. I remember who was there. Everyone is nodding their heads, eyes wide, mouths open. It's hip-hop paradise. We had a pretty shitty system in there, but it didn't matter. I pop in the tape, and the powerful musical magic emits from the speakers. When those funky, eerie, powerful xylophone notes from One Love came on, I remember Jacobs is literally lying on the floor. He can't comprehend how good it is. None of us can. It's the best shit we've heard in our lives. Internally, we start debating how we're going to handle this. I say right away that it's got to get a 5. Okay, first off, it's fucking hilarious because reading this, I want to make fun of anybody losing their shit that much over it.
Yeah.
But I've done that before.
Yeah. Well, I've experienced that too. Yeah, I just like, I picture Jacobs, like just that name just like paints me a mullet having like yuppie.
Yeah.
And his like, you know those button-up shirts where the collar's a different color?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's wearing one of those.
And he's got like one of those bicycle hats on.
Yeah.
But it's neon because it's the early 90s.
Yeah, and he's like wearing tearaway pants. This outfit is insane.
Dude, it is nuts.
He's wearing tearaway pants, and then he's like lying on the ground, rolling around. He's like, whoosh, this is the best shit I've ever heard, ever. And they're like, dude, why aren't you wearing underwear?
And this guy commutes in from Connecticut every day.
Yeah, to Los Angeles.
I thought the source was in
I don't know, I'm just
in New York.
I'm just bullshitting.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
I was just adding, you know.
Fuck me then.
You know the yes and thing? You know that concept where you just say yes and?
I've been trying to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not good at improv, dude.
You let me down.
I'm letting you down.
You know how
dude.
some people are good at riffing?
Oh, fuck. Okay, eventually the review for Illmatic was handled by the magazine's columnist, Miss Info, real name Minya O, when writing under the pen name Shorty, who shared Schecter's enthusiasm for NAS's album. In her review of Illmatic, she wrote, I must maintain this is one of the best hip-hop albums I have ever heard, and wrote of its content, lyrically, the whole shit is on point. No cliche metaphors, no gimmicks, never too abstract, never superficial. Now, there's a controversy about this, though.
Okay.
At the time, it was unheard of for a debuting artist to receive the coveted rating. Author Matthew Gastier. Matthew Gastier.
Yep.
He's gassy. It's difficult to overestimate the impact of receiving the 5 out of 5 mics, the first such rating given to any new release by the magazine since then editor Reginald Dennis. Wow, for a hip-hop magazine, that is the fucking whitest name I have ever heard.
Reginald?
Put on a moratorium on them. Reginald Dennis, former music editor of the magazine XXL, later recounted, awarding records 5 mics has always been, on some levels, troubling to me. I mean, we are not only saying that a particular piece of music is superior to everything that is out now, but it will be better than most things released in the future as well. I only gave 1 5 under my watch, and it went to NAS's Illmatic. Dennis cited it as the only time I ever broke the no 5 rule. Now, the rating did not come without its share of controversy, as I mentioned, because he described the reaction that followed the review as, I was happy, John was happy, Nas was happy, everybody was happy, except for all of the people who felt that The Chronic should have gotten a 5. Only 2 years prior, Dre's groundbreaking The Chronic failed to earn that coveted rating, despite redefining the musical landscape of hip-hop. It was later revealed that while everybody at the magazine knew it was an instant classic, they decided to comply with the strict policy of staying away from a perfect rating. Now, okay, first off, I was incorrect before because I did not realize that The Chronic came out in 92. I thought that it came out in 95. So I'm going to...
I didn't even realize you said that.
I did say that.
Oh, okay.
And I need to make sure that I correct myself there. But secondly, it is pretty crazy because I would say that The Chronic is just as fucking good as an album.
Yeah, well, I think they're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, dude. If they can't give everything 5 stars, what the fuck, dude?
Well, if you're gonna set that standard to a certain point, you almost have to stick with it for the entire time you're gonna be rating albums. Like, if that's your standard, because I would agree that if Nas's Illmatic is a 5 out of 5 mics, that The Chronic is a 5 out of 5 mics.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
That's a 5 out of 5 mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they're... I get why it was controversial.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I feel like that was... I personally get it, why it's a 5 out of 5, but if that's their standard... then they're idiots.
Yeah, fucking
Reginald let us down.
Reginald, what a fucking
Yeah.
what a knob, dude.
He let us down.
Also, are you critiquing the critics?
Yeah, that I am. What did I say? I think about it and I go, do I want to
What did I say? I want to complain but change nothing.
Story of my fucking life, dude. That's literally, like facts. Isn't that what existing is about?
Dude, you're spitting facts like Tom McDonald.
But isn't that what existing's about? You just complain about shit and you do nothing about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's how I make a decent share of my money.
You wait for something to happen.
Yep. All right, now the retrospective reviews. These are much more interesting.
I'm probably going to be super high.
All Music.
Yep.
5 out of 5 stars.
Yes.
The Austin Chronicle.
Okay.
5 out of 5 stars. The Encyclopedia of Popular Music.
Yes.
4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Mojo. 5 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
Pitchfork. 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Q. 5 out of 5 stars. The Rolling Stone Album Guide. 5 out of 5 stars. And XXL. 5 out of 5 stars.
So it's aged well.
It's aged
is what they're
quite
saying.
well.
Which we know anyways, but
We already called that because
we couldn't even listen to this album when it came out.
That's true.
So
We were both I was in my mommy's tummy.
Yep.
I hated that. As soon as I said it, I was like, that was really gross.
Yep. It was.
That was a gross thing to say, dude. One of my coworkers asked me about my podcast today.
Yes. They're like, listen to it.
Okay, so every episode we rate the album. We review on technical, musical, lyrical, album art, reception, and does it hold up?
Yes.
Technical.
Well, as an expert, let me. I mean, it sounds great. I think it's for its time what they were doing, the samples, all the funky stuff. I like the incorporations of jazz. I like the hard beats, the hardcore beats.
I would also say that it's aged well in
Yes.
that it doesn't sound like it sounds of its time genre-wise, but it doesn't sound like it in terms of,
It's not muddy. It's
not muddy.
Punchy. Like it suits what it suits the themes of the album. It suits what he's talking about.
It has a really crisp fucking tone.
Yes.
It's mixed incredibly well.
Yes.
And also, I mean, like, this is again another album, like we've talked about it with a few of the albums that we've done recently, where they have had a litany of producers and they've all known what they're doing. So I would give it 9 out of 10 on technical.
I'm gonna go an 8.75.
8.75. All right, so we're at an 8.8.
5.
No, 8.865.
Okay. Sure. We'll go with that.
I don't even think that's right.
No, I don't think so
Musical. I mean, okay, this is. I do think that it's interesting because it sounds very different from a lot of stuff that was happening at the time, in terms of like their choice of beats and the samples that they are using. I would also say that I like that it has a consistent tone throughout the album, but it shifts in styles very, very smoothly between songs.
Seamlessly. I agree with what you're saying. I think there's, I think it's more of like, for me, I'm going to go an 8.
You're going to go an 8?
Yeah, I think it holds up really well. It still sounds very good. It's different than what was going on, like you said, but I think it's an 8. I'm gonna
go an 8.75 so that we're at an 8.75.
Okay, cool. Nice. Good
All
guy.
right. Lyrical. Lyrics, I mean, this is what
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Yeah,
like
it's a
there's
10.
there's not any debate about it.
Yeah, it's a 10.
So I think we're at a 9 now. Album art, I mean, it's pretty iconic for what it is. It's nothing you recognize it if you saw it without the text on it. I won't say that it's like the most eye-catching or like fucking outstanding.
I'm gonna go 8.5 on it.
You're gonna go 8.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go an 8.
Okay.
So we're at an 8.75 still. Nice. Reception is apparently fucking perfect.
It's a 10,
yeah. And honestly, commercially, it was received very well. Like, it ended up going multi-time platinum. I mean, it's inspired so many goddamn hip-hop artists, both good and bad.
I have a feeling, too, there's, like, every day there's probably a large amount of people that listen to this thing front to back.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I think it's, so.
Dude, ever since we decided to choose this one, I was like, oh, right, I forgot how much I love this album.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
I was like, I was actually like, the funny thing is like sometimes I can love an album but be like, oh, I have to fucking listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of the things that I think is funny with this podcast is like, sometimes like week to week it can change for like how you're feeling like mood wise musically, and so sometimes I'm like, God, I have to listen to it even though it's an album that I'll love. And I didn't feel like that with this one.
Well, I find
I'm also on my antidepressants though, so
I feel similarly because sometimes it's like depending on how you're feeling, you want to listen to other music, and you're also feeling other shit at the time. So like sometimes it can be a chore to be like, oh fuck, I gotta listen to this album fucking 5, 10, fucking 15 times depending on how much you know it, right? So I was like, okay, well I'm just gonna sit here and listen to it, and it does feel like a chore sometimes.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like one this time around.
Did not feel like a chore.
That's what we should add to that category. Didn't it feel like a chore?
Actually, that would be a fun one to add.
Yeah.
And we could, next week, we'll retroactively go through all of our...
I gotta listen to all of them? Fuck.
not go through all of them. We'll just go, like, off of our memories on it. Did it feel like a chore? And does it hold up? Obviously, we've been talking about how much it fucking holds up.
Yes, it holds up. So what did we were like a...
8.75.
I think that's super fair.
I think that's fair, too.
Yeah. You got some dates coming up.
I got some dates coming up. All right. March 5th at the Laugh Shop here in Calgary. March 22nd, I am at Comedy, and then I'm at the Rec Room. So I got 2 shows that night. Jasper on the 12th of April. It's a part of Jasper Pride.
Nice.
So come on out to that one. April 13th, I'm at Airdrie. And then I'm going to be doing my special recording at some point in late April, early May. More details will come, but it will be in Calgary.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Well, cheers.
Anal contusions, dude.